Yo, hey young bloods, let Uncle Obsidian holler at you right quick, man. Walk with me. Alright. Christmas is a bullshit ass holiday. Oh my god. Alright. So first of all, the Xmas thing was obviously bullshit. I mean, they just wanted to eliminate, they just don't want to take the word Christ out of it, right? So, alright, so I work in New York, right? And, a lot of these, the most important buildings or whatever and all that shit, like they have, I don't think it's a menorah. A lot of these buildings have menorahs all over the place. But it's like whatever that thing is for Hanukkah. And I'm going to put a picture up of it. But like they have that shit there, right? And they got like a huge one of those in the lobby as soon as you walk in the building this time of year. And they got the Christmas tree right next to the shit. All right? So if Christmas is about Jesus, and why are these Christ killers putting the Christmas tree? Because they own all the damn buildings. I mean, Silverstein Properties alone, and like all these Jewish real estate companies and whatnot. I think like the top 8 out of 10 or something in New York City are Jew owned and controlled. And one of them was Trump, who's obviously a Shabbat goy, and then the other one is like some Italian, which is obviously again like connected to the Jew. But anyways, like you think, like why are they putting this Christmas tree next to the Jewish thing? Because it has nothing to do with Christ. Like this holiday has nothing to do with that. Supposedly Jesus wasn't even born on Christmas, yet you have these Christians who are brainwashed celebrating this shit like it's the birthday of Jesus. I mean, I've heard that Jesus was born in March, or like around Easter, or like, you know, which is another stupid ass holiday aligned with the tax return season or whatever. But I heard he's born in September. It's like, whatever, I don't even know. Did this nigga even exist? Like, that's my question at this point. But yeah, this shit is also, I'm finding out, well, I would say a year or two ago, I guess, that, there's Santa is obviously an anagram for Satan, and Saturn is like supposedly what we're really celebrating here with the, and one of the nicknames, and there's a lot of people who can break this down much better than me, but the nicknames for Santa is Saint Nick, and Saturn, one of his nicknames is Old Nick. So it's like, this is a pagan holiday. It's a pagan, quasi-satanic, occult holiday that we're celebrating. Don't forget, John Benet Ramsey was killed on Christmas, right? By her, her devilish family. They just said, whatever, we need to sacrifice a child this year. These people are sick. But, like, why are we worshiping a tree with decorations and shit on it? That's some druidic shit, is it not? I mean, come on. And it's like, if you don't celebrate it, people act like you're weird. It's like, no, I'm not weird. You're just brainwashed. You've been indoctrinated into celebrating this shit. That's how they assimilate these normies into this crap. It's like, I mean, just think about it. If I invented a holiday right now, like if I did Festivus or some invented holiday, or I'm like, yo, let's worship let's worship eggs for a day or something like that. People will look at me like I'm crazy. Or if I said, yo, let's worship bags for a day, like let's have bag day where we worship bags. People will look at me like I'm crazy, but it's like, over time, if you have the media power and the marketing, eventually bag day is going to be a thing, and people will look at you like you're crazy if you don't celebrate it. And it's like, whatever, man. Have fun if that's what you do this time of year. But I'm calling this shit out for what it is. This, capitalistic, quasi-satanic bullshit. It's like, you have any idea how much money the Jews make this time of year? I mean, Amazon alone, like, Jesus Christ. They basically plan for this time of the year. Like, their whole business is basically oriented around it. Maybe not Amazon, but definitely a lot of businesses. And then tax season soon after. I mean, this shit is all media conditioning. Fuck the holidays. It's like, and then the wage slaves have to work harder to supplement everyone else's bullshit. I'm probably gonna have at least a few days this month where it's like I'm having to do more work than I want to, just because of the demand and all that shit that comes with this time of year. And then it's like, you got these stupid women who want to flex on Instagram and shit, and it's for them, I would say it's for kids too, but it's not for the kids. The women force it onto the kids because they have more dominion over them, because they're the caregivers or whatever. You think kids would give a shit about Christmas if it wasn't like a thing that they were kind of conditioned into, like, oh, you get gifts, blah, blah, blah. Worshipping material possessions. Yeah, because that's what Jesus would want, right? This shit ain't about Jesus. It's like men are Santa Claus. Like, that's what we are. We're the ones who have to make all this shit happen, all the quote unquote magic, behind the scenes of everything like this. Behind it, I always say, like, behind everyone's pleasure is someone else's pain. So, you look at some place like Dubai, for example, and this is like a stark example of this. This is kind of what initially made me think this. And it's like, this is such a beautiful city, blah, blah, blah. Everybody wants to visit. It's so wonderful. But then you got these dudes who are basically slaving away to, like, build these enormous buildings and all this stuff. And it's like, their lives are absolute shit, seemingly. It's the issue right there. Like, they're manipulating human sentiment. So it's like, we associate all this shit with good. You associate the holidays with, like, family get-togethers and warmth and comfort and happiness and good food, and that's just a part of the conditioning. This is why women are cancer. I mean, how many Western women would be okay with their children not having a Christmas? They force this shit on to everybody else, including the men, because they're sheep. But men have to start putting their foot down, to be honest. I mean, it's just like, why aren't more people like me speaking out? I mean, it's like, what's the point in being afraid? You're not going to be here forever anyways. I heard somebody say recently, what's the point in going through life with such inhibition and, like, carefulness just to arrive safely at death? Like, even the health crazes that we constantly see. You even see people, like, the new craze is, like, tanning your butthole or something, like, some satanic bullshit, as always. But, there's always some health craze, like, this is gonna make your life longer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, who cares? Why do you even want to live that long anyways? Oh, and just for the record, I don't know why I feel the need to get this off my chest, but I'm not a naturally exploitative person by nature. That was a dumb sentence. But from my perspective, it's actually been a necessity. And it's like, of course, we all exploit somebody at some point or another. Like, we're all assholes in our own special way, like I always say. But the thing is, like I've said in a previous video, to go with the same theme, I can't really function that well in this world For example, I've lived with my brother for a while, and he kind of has that masculine nurturance thing where he feels like he has to help people. But I always say, maybe there's such a thing as being too good a person. And I'm sure he understands that too. Good people get taken advantage of in this world, even by family. Anyways, I didn't want to live there because it was more just because I had to. Because it's like, where the fuck else am I going? Seriously. And he didn't want me there because he's starting a family and all that. And it's a bad look to have your adult brother living in your house for free. You know, it'd probably be different if I was a different kind of person or neurotypical, but I'm not. So moving on. And honestly, if the situation was reversed, I would do the same thing. But like, I don't know. I also feel like I would much rather like my family member live with me for free than go rent a place from some Jew or something, or or from anybody, not even necessarily just a Jew. But at the same time, I've never been in that situation. You kind of feel like, well, I earned this for myself. I worked for this, and here you are, kind of leeching off of it. And it's like, regardless of if you're family or not, you probably would feel a certain way about that, Like, at least pay me or show me something that show me that you're trying to be independent or whatever. And maybe that kind of ties into, like, our society is a little too individualist, I feel, sometimes. Like, these Mexicans really be out here living with 20 people in the same house, if not more. And that shit is like a shack, Like, I just feel like other races, they don't find themselves in those kinds of situations because they kind of, like, blood is thicker than money. I don't know. But, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really like that. So I found a way to get out of there. I even went as far as to leave New York, but it's like, now I'm back. Because, I mean, I don't know. My situation outside of New York. Well, first of all, I don't want to live anywhere else, really. So it's like, it depends on the situation. Because, like I always say, life sucks regardless of where you are. So it really depends on the situation for me. But, I do prefer to live in New York. But if I had a choice to live anywhere, I don't think I would live here. I would probably live on an island or something like that, if money wasn't an object. But anyways, this is like a random rant. I had my mic ready to go already, and I was just kind of thinking about this. I'm just sitting in my room in the dark, and I'm drunk-ish. So I'm just like, whatever.